My wife walked out for my best friend, but she didn't know I'd been planning a huge surprise. Claire rolled her eyes when I said, "Applebee's again?" She shoved her phone at me and showed me photos of Marcus at a rooftop place. "He actually lives," she said. "You're safe. You're boring. When do you ever surprise me?" I forced a smile and paid the bill because I was hiding the biggest secret of my life. 6 weeks earlier, I'd won $73 million, and I'd been planning our anniversary. I'd put a deposit on the beachfront house in Maui she'd bookmarked. I'd booked the safari she'd talked about for years. I'd ordered a custom necklace she'd stared at through that jewelry store glass. I'd planned a scavenger hunt through our old date spots to reveal it all. Marcus was my best friend since high school, so when Claire started working late with him, I trusted them both. Then, Tuesday night, she sat me down on the couch, eyes wet, hands tight in her lap. "I can't fake it anymore, David," she said. "Marcus makes me feel alive. You don't." 2 days later, while I was at work, she moved out. On the kitchen counter, she left her ring and a note that just said she needed more. That same night, Marcus texted, "I'm sorry, man. We tried to fight it, but we fell in love." 20 years of friendship ended in one paragraph. I stood in our quiet kitchen, staring at lottery papers and travel brochures. The little envelope that would have started the scavenger hunt sat right there. The necklace arrived that weekend in a small black box, heavy in my hand, and I laughed because it was useless now. I called the Maui place to cancel, and they told me the deposit was non-refundable. The safari company still kept a fee. The jeweler said custom meant no returns. I stacked the receipts on the table like proof I wasn't imagining my life falling apart. Claire came back for clothes and said, "Don't make this messy," like I was the problem. The next day, I saw a photo online of her and Marcus clinking glasses, smiling like teenagers. I turned off my phone and sat in the dark, breathing, because if I answered either of them, I knew I'd say something I couldn't take back. I didn't tell Claire about the money. I didn't tell Marcus either. I called a lawyer, changed accounts, and kept my name quiet at work and online. Then I did the one thing Claire always called too dangerous for us. I bought a motorcycle. The first time I rode it, my hands shook, but it beat sitting alone in that empty house. I started taking weekend trips to small towns, grabbing coffee and snapping photos of old buildings to stay busy. One rainy afternoon in Montana, I ducked into a coffee shop, and that's where I met Grace. She had a laptop open, a camera bag at her feet, and a look on her face like her computer was fighting her. When I asked if the seat was taken, she said, "Only by my bad choices," and laughed. She made room, I knocked over my sugar packets, and she helped me pick them up like it was no big deal. We talked for hours about places we'd been and places we wanted to see. I didn't mention the money or my divorce. I just listened, and she didn't make me feel small for being quiet. We traded numbers. Texts turned into calls. Calls turned into her meeting me in Colorado for a hike. On that hike, I missed a turn. We got lost for an hour, and instead of getting mad, she said, "Cool, bonus adventure," and kept walking. After a few visits, she showed up at my small cabin with groceries and said, "I'm not moving in. I just want real food." Soon her hiking boots were by my door, and her camera gear was everywhere on my table. She never asked what I had. She never compared me to anyone. 6 months later, my name popped up in the local paper because I donated money to an animal shelter. I didn't think it would reach Claire. I was wrong. Mutual friends started calling, and then I got random texts that were obviously her. Then yesterday, late afternoon, there was a hard knock at my cabin door. I opened it, and Claire was standing there, dressed sharp like she was going to a meeting, heels clicking, jaw tight, eyes scanning past me like she expected a mansion. "David," she said, trying to smile, "I made a mistake. We had something real." I didn't step aside. She took a breath and started. "Marcus turned out to be..." Then she stopped when she saw the hiking boots, the camera on the table, and a half-finished mug of coffee with my name on it. Before she could recover, Grace came downstairs in my old college sweatshirt, hair messy, holding her mug. "Hey, babe," she said, then looked at Claire. "Oh, hi, who's this?" Claire's face went tight. "You're with someone else," she said, like I'd done something wrong. I put my arm around Grace and said, "Grace, this is Claire. Claire, this is Grace." Grace smiled like it was normal and said, "Nice to meet you." Claire stared at us, swoosh.